See, I think we left it too late. If we would have went in 3 years ago and would have helped the moderates, but you see, if we help the Syrian rebels now, we are helping Al Qaeda because we've left it so long that the rebels are like, well, fuck you, ISIS is going to help us, so we might as well turn to ISIS, So the only way to really sort it now is to get rid of Assad and the rebels.
I just like
which
all that bullshit came out of Assad using chemical weapons on his own men and on his own people. I don't know how true that is, because we always whistleblow about all these leaders and that, and at the end of the day we find out they're proper legitimate leaders that only want good things for their people.
Yeah, I don't think Assad used chemical weapons. I'm not saying if he could and he could get away with it, yeah, I say he probably would, but he's not stupid, I think if he knew he used chemical weapons, that was going to get the US probably involved,
Exactly. It's all a stage. It's all a stage.
Yeah. It was either the rebels doing it or some other backer.
What, is it Hamas out there? I can't quite...
Nah, Hamas is backing Assad, aren't they? I think that's where they stand on it, because they're in Lebanon, aren't they? Hamas, where they situated, and they also, in Gaza as well.
Yeah, they're all across.
And they're back. I think they're Assad backers.
Are they really?
Yeah, I think that's what my knowledge over time. What I've gathered.
Thought that'd be the last person they would want to back.
Yeah. I don't know, because you have Sunnis and you have the other Muslim group as
Shiites.
well.
Yeah, Sunnis and Shia.
Yeah, Shia. See, that's how fucking stupid religion is, that now even Islam itself is split down into two groups. And I remember hearing the reason why they'd done that, why you have Sunni and Shiites, and the reason's so stupid and so minor, what happened so many thousand years ago, such a ridiculous reason, but yet over the 1,000 years they've killed each other constantly because of it. I forgot the reason now, but I think it's something to do with one of the brothers wanted to be king or something of a certain region, and the Sunni booked one brother and the Shiite sort of like backed the other brother, and some shitty reason like that. It's ridiculous.
Some like story tell Humpty Dumpty sat on the wall and he fell off. So
yeah, pretty much
fairy tale type of thing. We go into the Quran and there's a guy flying a fucking magical pony horse. So they'll believe anything if it's written in a 3,000-year-old book.
Yeah, I'll have to send you a link, because there's Dawkins, and he's like a famous author. He's he's an atheist and he's a scientist as well, and he's getting interviewed by a Muslim, and he's like, he's just fucking ripping out the Muslim. Really, it's quite a good interview. I'll have to send it to you.
Like Islam and like the Quran and stuff like that just need to be updated. It's not like say our religion. Our religion molds, and like just that Middle Eastern religion is so set in stone. It's just there's no development.
See, our form of Christianity, Protestantism, that's very flexible. When we broke away from the Catholic Church so many years ago, we was able to really format around sort of like society and mould it. But same with the Catholic Church, they're very set in stone and that. And I think the Muslims, they need that sort of like that breaking away of sort of like how we did in Christianity.
Yeah, I don't think it'll happen though, because we throw so much money at war with them. Then we throw education in, like educating them. But it's just like, because that part of the region's got a fuckload of oil and gold and all the resources. Eventually they'll catch up, hopefully. But hopefully they have the right progress and not like this sort of you have an idols in this type of progress, don't you? You have lords and ladies and shit like that, which you really don't need. You
Yeah.
don't need titles.
No. That's one thing. One thing I could never stand about the army is all this yes sir, no sir, salute and business and stuff like that. I just think that and we have lords today and sirs and everything, and I just think it's so out of date, and it's sort of like, yeah, if I could have my option now, I would get rid of the monarchy, because what I think the monarchy represents is not the common British people, but it just represents that same idea that it's all right for the aristocracy, the same bloodline to still be in power, and it's all right for these rich people who've had that wealth in their family for generations to still sort of like claim that wealth and still dominate. That's what the monarchy represents to me, that it's still all right for the aristocracy to rule this country. And I think if we got rid of the monarchy, Britain would be a far fairer country, because they would get rid of that main idol to them.
And we would have one big massive house to all live in, all of us, not just one fucking person and her family. All the people could fucking happily just walk into that house. That'd probably be, a good home for the homeless. Yeah. I'd say open up them gates and get the homeless in. They can eat off the golden plates, and they can wear the diamond crown. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Because that totally represents British, like normal Britons, normal patriots.
It's ridiculous,
Normal humans. It's just just another curtain.
Yeah, it is. It's just like they say that's the embodiment of the British people, or our monarchy and everything, but we've sort of like had that force on us, and it's sort of like but really, all Britain ever is, Britain was a great nation until we started going around the world, and started colonising things. Then all we became is like a global empire, like America is today. And all Britain always been, all this idea of liberty, freedom, democracy, has always really been for the top brass of society. All the rest of the common people have always been like the Saabs, or the working common man on the fields or in the factories. Liberty and freedom is always represented in the UK, the top portion of society. It's ridiculous.
It's better. We should start dragging that freedom back down, start, getting liberty back. But, it takes a hell of a lot of people to do it. Like me and you couldn't do it on our own. We need other people. Like the Occupy London movement, like all different types of unions and movements could really help change England as a country, and then from England we can, move out.
Yeah, exactly. It's what it is, I think personally it's destiny. It's going to happen. I can't see it not happening, and that's just, I haven't really got any evidence, but just I see how society's going and how the wealth is being only controlled by the minority at the top, and how it's not being dripping down to the lower classes. That at the time, the common British man, they're not patriots anymore. They could care less about this country, but they could care less about how much they're getting fed or their basic human rights. And when
imaginary things like, oh yeah, you need a new car, you need more than one car, you need more money, you need a roof over your head, you need 3 people in your house when it could have at least 50 people living in there. It's all just set to divide us. There's no unity at all. It's just what's it called? Not command and conquer. What am I trying to say?
I don't know what you're saying.
No, I can't remember.
No, I know. But what we're like is we're like little dogs, and we sort of like have our belly rubbed and that, and we get fed treats and that, which is like welfare benefits, the NHS, all stuff like that, the odd job here and there, and they keep rubbing our belly in it. But when they are unable to keep giving us these treats, because of something what's happened somewhere else around the world, we have a global market and that's not failing, and that's when the common man's going to wake up and say, fucking hell, I'm not putting up with this anymore,
Well, it might happen like earlier than that, maybe like 2030, 2040, we'll be properly
Yeah.
looking at a revolution. But because
It would.
it'll be climate collapse by then, we won't have any
Yeah.
oil, we wouldn't have any electricity to run our vehicles or anything. It'll just
No.
it'll be like the fucking Wild West, and by that time, I hope I'm ready, and I hope you're fucking ready. And whoever's listening
Yeah.
to this, I hope you're fucking ready.
Yeah. But I just, I fail to see how, how this world is so connected now, and how we're all sort of like these global markets and everything, and how it's all functioning. That only takes one mistake somewhere else around the world, how it did in 2008, and that to affect, us so badly. And if the government are, unable to keep giving us these welfare benefits and stuff like that, and keep the working man going, because that's what we survive on now, our welfare, and once that's taken away, I can see the common man waking up and realising that it's not all hunky-dory.
I think they can see it's not all hunky dory. All you gotta do is turn on the fucking TV and get on your
Yeah.
fucking the BBC or whatever the fuck you want to get on.
Yeah,
And you can see
but
the
our
world
modern
going to
culture, our modern culture's crap, because all we're interested in is fucking keeping up the Kardashians, or what was it, Only Wears Essex, like fucking
Oh,
people
yeah.
like Joey Essex, and then these reality stars are more sort of like popular.
Yeah, they're just taking away the attention from like the real problems, not just fucking oh no shit. Like if we sort of settle our differences in between like person to person instead of worried about someone else's life, we
Yeah.
will affect other people's lives, and we wouldn't just be so. What am I trying to say? So like disassociated with everyone else. Like we can really associate people. Say if you like what's your favourite program, you can talk to your friend about your favourite program. Maybe if you change the program to like something interesting, like I don't know, something factual, like I want to say RT, but it's not really factual. It's more like propaganda. But I want to
Yeah,
say
it's
something
shit.
like Truth Loader, or like when they show you something about like the Federal Reserve, Bitcoin, Freemason, anything which is a good talking point.
Yeah. But you see,
Then you
we're
can,
not brought up with that culture, are we? Like, my primary school and stuff like that, all throughout my school, and like it was just like, getting teach little bits here and there of the bare minimum, never really ask questions, just sort of like, and especially in my secondary school, it was just like, some dismal facts of geography, or when we did about, politics at all, we didn't even learn about the structure of our government or anything like that. It was more, anyway, just to keep us interested, and show us videos now and again, or movies, just, but there was no care or attention put into it. And
all you do in school and that is just learn how to follow rules. It's so simple. It's so simple in school to get along. All we got to do is say yes sir, no sir, write a bit of paper on it, and they try to incorporate that into like real life. It's nearly the same thing. You just do as you're told. There's no disobeying in school, because then you get told off or you get kicked out. But in real life, it's kind of the same thing. If you disobey, you face the consequences. But if enough people disobey, we can change the rules.
Don't get me wrong, I'm all for, a system in place which, is firm when it needs to be, because people need laws, people need rules to follow by, because if you don't, you have anarchy, and that's just a fucking mess in itself. But
Anarchy
you need a
is fucked,
structure, but you need a...
Anarchism is just the worst. It's like a flawed
It's
system.
like I remember in the Spanish Civil War, you had a lot of anarchists, and in the end they had to sort of like turn to more communism in the end, because their system was just everyone just doing what they wanted, which is an absolute mess. So but you need rules, you need a structure in place, but it needs to fairly represent everyone, and
It
everyone
just needs to be fair.
you know,
It just needs to be
equal
fair and have
Yeah.
not have like a secret agenda like our government has. You know, like
Yeah.
you get the normal thing. You get oh yeah, we're gonna increase the bedroom tax or we'll decrease the bedroom tax or something like that. But it doesn't tell you like on the war game side or on the scientific side. It doesn't physically tell you on
No.
media what, like the hidden agenda. If you
And
can have
another
like
thing,
a
what I
really
find-
open type of you know rule, or not rule,
Yeah.
more like a, what am I trying to think of? Like more like a, I don't want to say machine, but I want to say like a whole. Like if everyone's equal.
Yeah, yeah. That what irritates me the most is we say we live in a democracy, but I wouldn't call it a democracy. I would call a democracy, you know, being able to vote for opposing ideas, opposing systems, you know, radical left, radical right, you know, moderates, all stuff like that, you know. But what we have is the moderate left or the moderate right, and now and again, you know, the Tories will, you know, support their toff friends or their, you know, or the, you know, Labour will support the common working man. But it's so moderate
so
in itself
thin.
that you only ever
The
get.
gap in between
Yeah.
left and right today is so thin. It wouldn't make a flying fuck if one was in power or if another one was in power. They would still have the same political agenda as each other because they don't know what the fuck they're
Yeah.
doing.
Labour, after the Second World War, you know, they were the Labour Party, you know, as used to be known. They introduced the national health system, all these welfare, you know, what they introduced, you know, they made a lot of radical changes. But now, you know, I couldn't tell the difference between, you know, I suppose one is a little bit more for giving out benefits, the other's a bit more for, you know, privatising everything. That's probably where it sort of like is, you know. It's not...
Hello?
Hello?
Oh, you are still there. I thought you
still
dropped
here.
out.
Yeah. No, I just
Yeah.
stopped talking.
Yeah, religion, politics, and government. What we should get rid of, yeah? How about that?
Yeah, well, don't get me wrong. We need a good government in place, you know, or a good government system. But I think democracy, and you know, that's quite radical to say that, I know, but if you get rid of democracy and you have a new system in place in which, because what is, you know, as long as there's people in charge, or you have a strong leader or a strong system who's truly representing the people, you know, who's fair and who's not corrupt, then it doesn't matter if you vote for them or not. You know, the main thing is they do their job properly. You know, so yeah, get rid of democracy, I say, or in its current form, anyway.
No, religion has done a lot of good, but it has caused quite a fair bit of bad as well. You know, like how you have like the charities and the foundations, which are like the Red Cross or the Red Crescent, stuff like that. It's just that's good.
Yeah.
Keep that, but don't have it under the name of God. And don't like push away people. I would if there was a religion that was well, there is. It's called Guyism or something like that. But it is just being your own person. But you know, it's just another religion.
Buddhism as well was what I always admired. I thought that if I had to be a religion, well, I don't have to be, I know, but if I had to choose a religion, I think Buddhism would be probably my choice because I think they got it right. You know, it's no sort of like imposing anything on anyone, or it's just like it's quite a modern idea. I think Buddhism, just sitting there, you know, meditating, you know, finding in yourself and that. Isn't it? You probably won't get a lot done, but
speaking about that, have you heard of the spiritual drug? It's called DMT. I can't remember the full version of the drug, but it's called DMT, and it's like it's supposedly it like, oh, I think it affects your pineal gland or something like that. Not pineal gland. I don't know. It really like
I
when
don't know.
you're asleep. There's part of your brain which activates, and it's sort of a dream world. It brings that into
Yeah.
like a more real sense. And ever like it was a class C drug at some point, but then everyone started to bounce off it. Everyone was doing DMT, and they moved up to like a B class, and it's really strange because all of a sudden, like the government see people doing it, and then they take away the drug because it's apparently the most spiritual drug there is out there. But
Yeah.
I've only heard small bits about it because my friend at college is really, not, I wouldn't say addicted, but he really wants to do DMT, but he doesn't
Yeah.
want to, sort of pay the price. Apparently, it was done in
Well, I don't-
Egypt as
well,
well, but who knows? Who knows?
It's it's fair enough. Taking it away.
Yeah,
As you know, people
Yeah.
don't need any more excuses than to sit on their fucking arse all day and take every shit under the sun. I think that's the problem with this society now. And
oh, yeah, because we got a system in place which, we can do practically nothing. We can just claim off of the working man and, oh, I can't remember.
yeah,
Oh, wait, oh, it was mentioned some time ago now, but someone said, I think it might have been through BBC or something like that, but it said there's ever since like the Victorian era, you had something called the working poor, and they weren't getting paid enough and etc. Apparently, there's working poor now in our current system, which means like our current system is just as bad as like a Victorian era system. It's just
yeah.
there's it said something about Britain's working poor or something like that. Oh God. Can't quite
Don't get me wrong.
remember.
That if you look 100 years ago, people in poverty that long ago, it was quite obvious that they was going through a lot extremer conditions of what we have to live today. Like I live in fucking luxury today. I would still be classed as a working class, but compared to 100 years ago, they was living in pits. But I think we're not really any better off. It's just over the years, technology has developed and it's got cheaper to buy because technology is always advancing and the latest things always coming out. So in a way, yeah, we are better off, but that's only because of this technology which is always being produced and thrown into
Yeah.
society.
If we have a currency, like if we don't have a physical currency and our currency will be technology, and we get rid of all like monetary system, the Federal Reserve, everything which makes money, makes physical money, if we get rid of that and we just have a technology-based system, that'd be fine, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Uh,
No, things
anyway,
like Bitcoin.
yeah,
Things like Bitcoin, what we're looking into, that could really revolutionise, how we, buy things and spend, and I think but of course the government's never going to allow it, are they? Because they're not going to give up their state
of
currency
course
for
not,
that,
no,
are they?
No, if enough people get into Bitcoin, and I just looked it up a minute ago how to start off getting paid with Bitcoin, and it's quite easy, funny enough. But yeah. Anyway,
It's not
Bitcoin
really
is the way forward.
worth doing it. Yeah.
Leave for the monetary revolution. Support Bitcoin. Yeah, it was a thing. I was listening to the radio, and it was talking about like a place on the internet called the dark web, and they're using Bitcoin, but they're using it in a criminal sense. They're using it to buy like Uzis and drugs, and they use Bitcoin. You know, so it can be used, but you know, it's just getting people to use it.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I don't think I'm qualified for that challenge, but you know.
All right.
I'm not really qualified for anything, though, that's the thing.
Yeah, not at the moment. Near my, I'm only qualified to sit at home and go to college.
Yeah. I was qualified
Yeah.
to kill Muslims, but I thought I'd better do something better with my life.
Yeah. Yeah. That's not very good, is it? How we turn
No.
psychopaths and patriots into war criminals just because they think they're doing the
Yeah.
right thing. I still think Britain is imperialist because it must be. It must be still imperialist.
We are, you know, well, I think we've just got this global network of us, the US, you know, and other European countries like France,
The white
you know,
superpowers
and even Germany.
and the world elite.
Yeah. Yeah, pretty much, you know. It's sort of like...
Right, this has gone on for nearly half an hour now. So I reckon I'll stop recording.
What's that?
I've been recording for like half an hour and a bit. Yeah.
You're recording, are you?
Yeah, I was.
Oh, I would have
Yeah.
cleared out my throat a bit. Oh, well.
It's alright. You're breathing quite heavy down there.
Am I? Yeah.
Yeah, it's alright. No worries,
Sort of
though. No
not-
worries.
Yeah.